In today's tutorial, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why the Frame and Fit presets panel should be your first stop when it comes to applying movement to your videos. Let's get started. Welcome back to another LumaFusion video tutorial. As a video editor, time is money. I want to get my edits done as fast as possible, but still keeping a professional high standard. So what I tend to do is, especially now with 5.2, is when you go into Frame and Fit, you've got some really powerful presets tucked in here. Some of them you may not use, others you may use all the time. So the first effect is the reverse dolly. Now I'm just using stock here. I press play. You can see the drone is moving forward, and we're getting a good view of a highway system. So what we want to do to create the famous reverse dolly or dolly zoom technique is we want to zoom out, do the opposite effectively of the motion of the camera going forward. So we're actually going further into the video image, and then from there we press play, and you can now see the background is getting stretched out and our freeway is coming more into the foreground quicker. If you want to speed that up, then press and hold on your last keyframe. Use these little arrows because it makes sense to use them, they're there. And for example, we can bring it into around about 2 seconds and just tap away. Go back to the first keyframe again, press play. You see, once you get to this point here, this is your cut point pretty much here. You're using 2 seconds of footage. If you want to make it even quicker, again, just press and hold on the keyframe and you can adjust its position. If you wanted to exaggerate the speed in which the drone is actually flying in, tap reset all and then do zoom in. And that will set you up this, which is just a scale in. And if you want to again speed that up, just move your keyframe closer to the first keyframe, go back and play. So you've got that option there as well. Remembering also that this is set to around about 150 in terms of percent zoom. If that's too much for you, then just highlight the keyframe and then you can just gently bring it in. So for example, I can just bring it up to 125, play it through. It's a little bit smoother. So there we go. First one, reverse dolly zoom and just speed zoom further in. So for the first time, we're going to use tilt down, and the effect that we end up getting is the camera remaining static almost. I don't know if you notice when I'm playing things back, it's kind of choppy when doing the dolly zoom. And the reason for that is, and I've kind of done this deliberately, is that if we go to speed and reverse, you'll see we've got a 24 frames per second video and a 30 frames per second project. Now, there's a couple of ways you can handle this. You can either change the frames per second in the settings of the actual project and bring it down to 24 frames a second so that it's a 1-to-1 speed, or in this instance, I actually want this to be 30 frames per second. So what I'm going to do is increase the speed, which will sit in at 1.25 times, and that will speed up the clip to match the frame rate. And you'll now see when I play things back, it's a hell of a lot smoother. And what we need to do now is we need to export this. So that's the dolly zoom applied, but that's not the overall effect we're looking for. And I will just pop this into photos, and there we go. We'll just delete the one we've got there. Bring that down onto the timeline, and then back into Frame and Fit, like so. And now we want to apply the tilt down. This effect kind of locks in the camera so that it doesn't have the same effect as stretching out before, although it still takes into account that effect. So we apply that, play it through, and you can see the overall tilt down. And if you don't like the tilt down, just hit reset all and go tilt up. You can see that just speeds up the camera movement and pulls things up. Then this third reason to be using the Frame and Fit presets is this clip here. This is another time lapse, but whoever filmed it is moving from right to left. So they're starting on the right hand side and then they're tracking to the left. Based upon what we've learned so far, you would think that applying a pan right, being the opposite effect, would actually work, but it doesn't. Let me show you. It just speeds things up. What you've actually got to do is go with the flow and pan left, and this time the parallax will have this sort of rotational effect. In the same way that if the footage was going from left to right, you would apply pan right, and that would give you the same effect. So there you go. 3 reasons why frame and fit presets should be your first protocol, which you can then customize at a later stage. Speeds up your editing workflow, keeps things professional, and just makes your day a little bit faster and better. If you enjoyed the video today, don't forget to like and share, and I will catch you on the next one. See you later.